back to my channel. So let's do a pattern review. Recently, I sewed the Daisy dress by PatternCos, and I wanted to talk to you about it. My kiddo, who is a complete tomboy, came to me and wanted me to buy her a dress for an event that we were having at the church. It was the week of the event. I started looking online to see if there was anything that she would like so I can buy it. Of course, we couldn't find anything that we agreed on. I got the bright idea that I should sew her something. It was definitely a crazy idea. I had already had plans to sew a dress for myself. Plus, I had less than a week to complete the dress. Of course, we're going to sew her a dress. I looked online for a dress pattern that she would like. I found the Daisy dress by PatternCos, and I love the dress. So did she. We were able to buy the pattern, go to Staples, and print it out the same day. Let's talk about the pattern and if I'll make it again. I bought the pattern online, and the pattern company wasn't one that I thought I heard of before. It took me a minute to realize that I had seen this pattern maker on my Instagram as Patterns by PatternCos. I had seen their clothes, I've seen their tutorials, and I liked them, but never thought about sewing anything from their collection for myself. Why? Let's talk about the size range. The finished measurements for this dress ranges from a 33 to a 45 bust and a 34 to a 47-inch hip. It's not a pattern that I would sew for myself, as it obviously will not fit. The size that I used for this dress said it was a size 52, and I know, guys, I was confused about the sizing, but definitely always look at your finished garment measurements when choosing a pattern to make sure that you're getting the right size. I don't think this pattern was very inclusive for the sizing, but it's definitely something that I think they should look into. The adjustments I made. I did a mock-up for this dress, as I wouldn't have the time to go back and remake this dress if it didn't fit correctly. I didn't have the fabric that I needed for the skirt, as much fabric as I needed for the skirt, which I'll talk about in a few minutes. I couldn't do the skirt as designed, so I ended up making an adjustment to the skirt and ended up making like a handkerchief skirt. I did lengthen the skirt by 3 inches. I didn't interface the bodice as instructed, but I lined the bodice, which also means I didn't use the bias tape for the neck hole or the armholes. Let's talk about fabric. In a previous video, I talked about our trip to Joann's, and my kiddo picked out this pink floral vines cotton fabric that was originally $9.99 per yard. I believe we bought about 4 yards or so. The pattern calls for 1.5 yards of fabric. My problem is that the width that I needed for the fabric was more than the 44 or 45 inches that we normally get, which is the reason why we changed the type of skirt that originally goes with the dress. If I had the time to plan right, I definitely would not have had that problem. This pattern can be created with a variety of fabrics: linen, cotton, crepe, tulle, denim, satin, velvet, just to name a few. It's very versatile. Let's talk about the instructions. I followed the instructions except what I did for the adjustments for this pattern. The instructions were easy to follow, and I think one of the biggest things that I encountered was the different dart. The dart was a different shape than I'm used to, one that I've never seen before. I did love how the dart turned out, and I think it fit the dress, and it made the dress be more flattering for my daughter. Now, the fit. The fit of this dress on my daughter was perfect. As someone who doesn't ever wear a dress, she was very, very comfortable in it. In fact, she asked for her to wear it again the next day, which is really shocking, especially if you know my daughter. I I would definitely want to try this pattern as is, like again, so as is, so I can get the skirt right. Would I make it again? Yes, I would definitely make this pattern again. For her first dress, it was perfect for her, and I wouldn't change much besides doing the skirt as is. I would line the bodice as I did before. Overall, I would rate this pattern a 3 out of 5. If you're someone of a smaller shape, this dress would be great for you. The fit is good and I love sewing it. I had a very few issues with it. If the size of the pattern was more inclusive, I would definitely want to make this pattern for myself. I would recommend this pattern to both sewers, especially beginner sewers who've gotten a few patterns under their belt. Guys, I appreciate you taking the time to listen to my review of the Daisy dress. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll talk to you later. Bye, guys.